doing the same?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and we're reading Saturnastra Marduke, chapter 12, part 2. Never mind the number I'm holding up. As for stuff. The mage waved his hand in negation. I then walked to the center of the room and pointed to the pendant. I asked him, "Do you know what this pendant does?" I heard the mage stirring in his bed. He reared his head outside the curtain. When he saw the pendant, he stared at it. He began to glare at it. He then went back to the bed. Whatever the pendant did, it meant bad news for him. For a while, I stared at the pendant again. When my gaze departed from it, I noticed the untouched wine bottle. I took it in a goblet to the mirror and had my true form examine it. My true form said that the wine bottle was safe. I uncorked the bottle and poured some in the goblet. I sat beside the bedside again. Smelling it a little, I said to the mage, "I hear that mages have a thing for wine. Do you want some?" I heard the mago stirring from within. He opened the curtain and he looked at the goblet, and he took the goblet from my hand. Like before, he told me to drink first. On this occasion, I refused. Forgive me, boy. My kind does not drink wine, or alcohol for that matter. The mage gave me an evil glare, and he returned the goblet to me. He went back inside the bed to sleep some more. Sighing, I left the goblet and the wine bottle in place. Once again, I took to look into Bersame's library. When night was falling, I saw from the star window Bersame approaching. I said to the mage, "He comes." This time I heard a low groan in response. Much to my surprise, the mage quickly got out of bed. He drank the entire wine bottle in one fell swoop. Drinking its contents quickly made the mage quite jovial. He started giving a low laughter. I could hear Bersame's footsteps approaching. When we felt Bersame in the last staircase, the mage went inside the bed. When Bersame entered, he had a parcel beneath his arm. He unfolded it on the table, revealing surgical equipment. Fresh blood was still on them. When I saw this, it made me exclaim, "Are you insane?" Like, he brought a bunch of weird torture devices, freshly used, and laid them out on the table.
A la serial killer.
Yeah, that's serial killer. He had just serial killed a poor person. Maybe. When I saw this, it made me exclaim, "Are you insane?" This exclamation seemed to rouse Bersame from his inner thoughts. Mumbling a little, he said, "What are you doing here?" In response, I said, "You locked the door behind you, you stupid fool. I had to spend the entire day reading your books and talking to your passive-aggressive mage. Sorry, my bad. My mind has been..." That's a piece of paper.
Okay.
I had a piece of paper in my hand.
Alright.
I'm sorry, my bad. My mind has been elsewhere lately. Oh yeah, the numbers dropping?
Yeah, 11.
Bersame did speak the truth. His eyes had a vacant white color to them. They seemed to be staring at something we could not see. Pointing at the surgical equipment, I asked, "Are they for me or for the mage?" Flushing a little, he said, "These. I had just finished an interrogation." He looked at the equipment and added, "I have really been distracted lately." After saying this, he rolled up the parcel and he gave it to me. He added, "Give this back to Belladonna, would you?" I gave them back to him and I added, "Sorry, sir, but you ordered me to keep an eye on the mage. I cannot do this if you send me away." His eyes went red for a second and then returned to white again. He looked back at the parcel and said, "Sorry, I forgot. Just leave them on the desk. I will take them back with me tomorrow. For now, go to bed." I left the room very anxious. I did not close the door completely. Worried, I hurried to my room and came back with my dagger. From my sleep, I saw Bersame drag the mage out of the bed. Since he was dead drunk, the mage was very docile. He even laughed a little. Bersame was delighted to see his good humor. In a gentle voice, he said to the maggots, "Do you have a good sleep, my darling Libra?" Mockingly, the mage mimicked Bersame's lovey-dovey tone and he responded, "Yes, my darling." Though soft and gentle, the mage had a man's voice. Hearing his manly voice sent Bersame in a fury. He dragged the mage by the hair and he threw him on the table. He opened his surgical bag and he added, "How dare you? How dare you? A man like you shouldn't have my darling's face." With his big hand, he pressed the mage's face against the table. All the while, the mage frantically flailed around trying to escape. With the other hand, Bersamin reached for the operating knife, like he was gonna rip his face off. Before he did, I started stabbing Bersamin with my knife. I stabbed his back, the arm, and the arm that held the knife. This time made him drop the surgical knife. After the fifth stab, his blood in my knife made a faint spark, as if it was charged with electricity. Once again, I made another pass at Bersamin. However, the knife disintegrated in my hand. Only the blood droplets that had fallen on the knife remained. They still sparkled a bit on the floor. This strange occurrence distracted me from my foe for a second. Bersamin's fist struck me square in the face. I blacked out after the first punch. Afterwards, I felt a rain of blows falling over me. I truly thought that my human body was going to die. However, suddenly the blows stopped. From a great distance, I could hear a terrified voice saying, "Stop, I'll do whatever you want." At first, Bersamin's voice asked, "Whatever I want?" The voice said nothing. The last thing I remember was a triumphant laugh. It seemed to keep echoing on. In this unconscious state, I felt myself sinking deeper and deeper. Time?
8 minutes.
I felt as if a bottomless pit beckoned me forward. Before I reached the bottom, I felt my body tenderly lifted. Around me, my siblings were breathing new life into my dead body. When I awoke, I found that I could not see from one of my eyes. From the eye that I could see from, I saw the mage watching over me. His eyes were low, and his hands held in a way that made it seem as if he was praying. I thought I heard the words of magic. I could feel the pain subsiding over my body. Behind me, and I saw Bersamin looming over the magus. He seemed enchanted by the mage's soft words. Eventually, I felt all my pains go away. I tried to rise, however, the mage bade me to rest. Once again, he resumed his chanting. However, it did nothing to heal my left eye. Eventually, I heard the mage sigh in resignation. Bersamin gently stroked the mage's long hair, and he said, "Don't be disappointed, my dear. I did give him a good whipping." The mage went perfectly still while Bersamin petted his hair. He gave the mage a warm smile and then departed. When he left the room, the mage gave a sigh of relief. In a soft whisper, he said, "Forgive me. I could not heal your eye. All I managed was to restore the fabric and the tissue. You will never be able to see from it." Seeing my distress, the mage fetched me some water to drink. I drank it with pleasure. In a soft whisper, he said, "My name is Sivano. It is a pity that we have to meet under such unfortunate circumstances, Marduke." Smiling, I said, I thought your name was Suberus." He gave a pitiful look and he added, "The tower is called Suberus." Nodding my head, I said, "Why do you live on that cursed tower?" I was never the kind of man who hated silly superstition. When I first arrived, there was not a hint of a spell, a cursed demon, or spirit. It seemed like an ordinary abandoned tower, considering how things ended up. I wish I had never stepped foot in that place. ¿Ya
6 minutes.
After he said this, a single tear rolled down his cheek. I asked Sivano, "Did he hurt you?" Bitterly he said, "No, but the fear of impending doom is killing me." "What does he want?" "He wants me to teach him magic, and he wants to court me. He wants me to act like his dead lover Libra. Just the thought of him being near me nauseates me, and I'm afraid that he's going to kill me on the night he decides to consummate our union." Indeed, Sivano did look as if he might throw up. Smiling, I said to him, "Is that all? Look, just teach him the same way you would teach one of your apprentices, and as for the courtship, just play hard to get until doomsday, and in the meantime, I will find a way to get us out of here." The prospect of an escape seemed to lighten Sivano's mood. After a brief interchange, Sivano made supper for me using the ingredients in my room. The broth felt good when it entered my stomach. I was still very weak from the beating. After we ate, Sivano rose and he whispered, "You know, I never taught anything to my apprentices." Laughing, I said, I know. My father too teaches the same thing to his apprentices. That night I had many restless dreams. Bersame had what remained of the Libra abandoned. Even in her weakened state, she was still very dangerous, for she could empower and even influence the king. It seemed that my only option was to destroy Libra, my only option to defeat Libra was to get through Bersame. Alright, this is the end of the chapter. Bye bye and God bless.